Thanks, guys. That was great. So one of my biggest barriers when during my time as Green Officer was just student involvement, really. And I think most people are aware of what's going on with the environment and the importance of protecting it, and also of ethical concerns as well. But sadly, despite this, it's very hard to get people on board. Part of that might be because being green doesn't seem to be that cool, or like not something people are willing to spend much time on. So what would you do as Green Officer to make it more accessible and just easier for people to get involved in?
So the important thing is that you say it may not be trendy for a lot of people, but if we include events such as the Green Formal and events that get people involved, get people excited, including also bringing in academic speakers as well, and other ideas and speakers and presentations to get people involved. I think also making campaigns easy for people to get on and join in. Also, reward systems might be a good idea to get people involved, especially with recycling. You get some sort of recycling award for different staircases to get people involved and make it realise that there's something in it for them as well.
Okay, so I thought from my experience so far at Cambridge that lots of people I've met do want to do their bit for the environment. It is something that we do care about. But the problem is we've got so many things to do. Even I find myself, I'm always telling other people to put their stuff in the recycling bin, but at the end of a long day, could I be bothered to wash up my soup tin and put it in the recycling? I'm not going to admit to not doing it, but that might not strictly be true. So what I want to do is make the facilities more available, so it's easier for everybody to be green. And even some of the changes I mentioned are stuff that's not going to impact you guys at all. It's going to make us all, like having motion sensing light switches, lights that turn off behind us. We don't even need to turn them off. That's brilliant. We're more energy efficient straight away. They have that in Chapel Court, but I live in Northcourt at the moment. We don't have that there. We would save so much energy just by having the kitchen lights turn off when we weren't in there without having to flip all the switches. Likewise, composting, decomposable takeaway cups from WAF, no more plastic bottles. Like, we can still buy our favourite drinks. We can still have a Coke, we just have it in a can, not a plastic bottle. But that's, okay, a can is not ideal, but it's still better than a plastic bottle. It is an improvement. So that was my ethos that I want to take the role, make it easier for everybody to be more environmentally friendly, because that's what you want to do without having to invest all that extra effort.
Well, as we've all sort of said in our campaigns and things like that, I think to effect significant change, we need to get people involved. That's definitely true. But obviously, it's tiring, we can't be bothered, it's inconvenient, and I completely understand that. So I think the most effective way to get people involved is to make them do things without them realising it. So, for example, if we were to have vegan options more prominent in CAF, people are more likely to buy it. We've naturally reduced our carbon footprint as a college and our energy consumption as a college, and perhaps we can influence other people to do the same, just because people tend to follow social norms, and I feel like people would naturally be involved doing it without necessarily actively doing anything. But then they can also say, oh, I'm actually doing my bit for the environment. So.
Does anyone have a question for the Green Officers? I'll ask a question. So, what's the single most important green issue in college for you guys? If you go reverse order, yeah. So, do you want a minute? Yeah, have a minute. Yeah.
I'd probably say actually the food available, because our diets have a profound impact on so, for example, animal agriculture, that's responsible for 18% of global carbon emissions, greenhouse gas emissions, and that's more than transport, combined transport, which is 13% of all greenhouse gas emissions. And I feel like if we were to make non-animal agriculture origin foods more prominent, then we naturally reduce our carbon footprint, our water consumption, and probably the health of everyone in college, because these foods tend to be lower in unhealthy things, etc. So I feel like if we did that, it'd be a big effect without really doing much.
I would have to say just briefly about the whole animal meat thing. I am a vegetarian, and that is an environmental choice, but I am aware that a lot of this research has been sponsored by the oil industry. So I think we do have to take some of these figures with a pinch of salt. My take is that there is not one overriding issue, more as such, it's a cumulative effect. It's a couple of percentage points here, a couple of percentage points there. So again, coming back to my ethos of making everything easier, if rather than having one standout problem, we probably have half a dozen small things that we can improve, which in the sort of marginal gains ethos leads to a much bigger improvement overall. So I don't want to tackle one area specifically. I don't think there is one area specifically that is a problem. I think there are many things we do well in college environmentally, but it's a case of stepping it up, finding an extra 1 or 2% of productivity in each area, and overall that will make a big difference, I hope.
To me, I think the most important thing is engagement. There's obviously a lot of things we can do here in college, and little things and little changes we can do, but I think the most important thing we can do is that members leave the college with an awareness of the environment, awareness of the importance of it, so that when they then go on into a position of power, or then have kids of their own, they can teach the message forward and it gets passed on. That's the most important thing, that we have influence, ultimately influence in the government, ultimately influence in big companies. It's about the message, it's about carrying it forward.